Yo, my people, what's going on, man? What is going on? Let me make sure the chat is active. Yeah, let me make sure that you man can hear me. Wow, do you know what I mean? This is just me on my ones today. It's just going to be a calm stream. You know, we're going to talk about what's been going on with you guys as Christmas is. Obviously, we've got the game tomorrow, which I'm starting to get a bit nervous now for. I'm not going to lie. I've been able to zone out and chill, and now I'm starting to deep it. I'm starting to realize we got a game tomorrow, and it's getting a bit mad. But I can see Zippy in the chat. I can see man like George, I think, in the chat as well. So yeah, I can see a few of you in there. But man, let's just get straight into the game tomorrow, first of all, before we do the Q&A. Obviously, get your questions in as well. I'm trying to do this on a split screen thing so I can see your questions at the same time, but it's going to be a madness to try and do it. Obviously, the team, I haven't done my personal preview. As you've seen this week, I've been having on Arsenal fans. They're not very confident. You know, we've had Turkish, we've had Lee Gunner. We were meant to have someone yesterday, but we couldn't get that done in time. So, but you get the gist of it. You know, I've been on a couple of streams. I'm actually going to be on Turkish's channel as well later today, the Big Six show. We've been speaking to Arsenal fans, man, and they're not confident. I'm hearing a slapping. Do you know what I mean? I'm hearing a real beatdown. So, if anything, as a Chelsea fan, that just makes me more nervous because it's a Chelsea thing to just go ahead and not perform to the levels that we're expecting. I'll take a comfortable win. I'm not looking for 5-6s and whatnot. I just need Chelsea to not ruin Christmas. And you know what I mean? It's literally Boxing Day, the day after. I'm not trying to have them ruin it. Let me go through the chat. Do you know what I mean? Little Q&A. So yeah, do you know what I mean? I haven't done a Q&A before. So I thought, screw it, why not? Let me see if I can adjust it to the point where I can do two things at once, because that's what we're really trying to get here. But yeah, man, throw in your questions because I haven't done a Q&A before. I was going to do one on Twitter, but then I thought to myself, that's going to take time, like to get back to everyone in typing form. Whereas if I just do it here, it's a lot easier to just get back to what everybody wants to hear, really. And it could be about anything. It doesn't just have to be about football. But until then, I'm going to go through, obviously, the team news. You heard it from Frank a couple of days ago. We've got, you know, Ziyech injured. He's not going to be fully fit. And that's kind of surprising because out of all the wingers that we've gone through this season, I didn't expect him to be the one that's injury prone. We've got Hudson-Odoi who's injury prone-ish. We've got Pulisic who's injury prone, and it's actually the new sign is Ziyech who's looking a little bit iffy with the injuries, which is not great. So that's a worry. Obviously Chilwell's out as well, and so is Reece James. So both of our first choice fullbacks and Hakim Ziyech is away. So Arsenal apparently don't have Aubameyang. I don't know if that's still the case, but that was what I was told earlier this week. He's not going to be available, and they're in shocking form, man. They're 15th in the league. There's no real excuse. I know we're going to the Emirates, so we're not at home, but again, with no crowd, that shouldn't really make a massive difference. I'll go through my team later on as well. I want to see what your team is. Merry Christmas, man. I see you in the chat. If I can't pronounce your name, I won't try because I'm not trying to butcher things. I'm not trying to butcher you man's names. Let me see. What are you guys saying? Yeah, Aubameyang's out. You see what I'm saying? Aubameyang's out. I'm gonna have this moving like a vlog camera because I don't wanna miss you guys' comments. So I'm gonna do it in a vlog situation. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you, man, and your family as well. Appreciate it. To be honest, I don't know about you guys, but obviously it's been a bit of a weird one this year. It doesn't really feel like Christmas, if I'm being honest. Do you know what I mean? I didn't really have any pre-hype. That's probably because I'm getting older, though. To be honest, that's probably just because I'm getting older. You lose the hype as you get older. It's not really. It's just more of a. It's just I'm just lucky I got out of London, innit? That's my main thing. The fact that I got out of London just in time before Boris tried to lock everything down. I think you guys must have saw the roundabout episode where we shot that. We shot the roundabout. We was outside cussing Boris, me and Sad, who's back in London now. And we was cussing him off, and look, we didn't get no notice. Do you know what I mean? He just slapped down the restrictions immediately, and we couldn't. You know, I barely escaped. So really, I'm just thinking about all my London brothers who can't get out right now. They're stuck in there. Do you know what I mean? But why do you think fans complain about Werner on the left? Do you know what it is? I really want to speak on this honestly. Obviously, this is a preview, but this is more of a Q&A because I feel like previews are the same. Like I try and do my previews when I do them in the usual spot in the studio that we do it. We try and make it creative and make it fun, but there's not really too much to talk about like that hasn't already been said on the other Chelsea YouTube channel. So I don't really want to go over it. That's why I spiced out with guests this week. In terms of Werner, People do complain about Werner on the left, man, and for me, I don't think it's down to what position he plays. I know if he was playing striker, he'd be further up top, maybe fewer touches. He doesn't have to dribble as much. He's not in a position where he has to be so involved in the build-up, and it really is just one touch and finish. But we have to remember, again, Reece James, when he's usually fit, we want to take advantage of the crossing and the heading ability. Werner, much like Tammy, is not really established in the heading department, so that would have been an issue that would have carried on anyway. And I think I've seen a lot of Werner's goals last season for RB Leipzig, and he cuts in from the left-hand side quite a lot. So even if he's playing up front, he is going to drift to the left naturally because he does like to cut in and shoot. If you see his goals, even the goals he scored for us at times, he has been cutting in from the left, and that goal against Tottenham that was disallowed, again, cutting in from the left. So I don't think it's too much about position. I don't want to blame it all on position. I'd rather say that he hasn't fully adapted. And for me, which has been so annoying and frustrating to see, is the treatment that him and Tammy get. The difference is nuts because, again, you see Werner this week, supported, backed, which is what you want to see. That's what we expect. That's what we should be doing as a fan base for a new signing. I always say give them 1 year minimum when they come to the club to adapt and adjust. It's not easy coming to this league. Werner's already spoken about it. Kai's spoken about it. It's not easy coming to a new league and having to play in a new team. You're not the big name anymore. Werner and Kai were the big names at Leipzig and Leverkusen. They've come into this Chelsea team and they're just part of the team. They're not the star man. No one really is a star man. It's quite a balanced team. But everyone's backing Werner as they should. But like I said, for Tammy, he doesn't get the same treatment. You're talking about a 23-year-old and a 24-year-old striker. And one, when he's off form or has a bad game against Tottenham, he's getting racial abuse online, like he did for the Super Cup as well last season when he missed a pen. He's not backed and supported like he should be, especially with the amount of goals he scored. It's not great. It's not a great look on us. But then Werner is given that support and time. So I don't know. I feel we need to look at ourselves on that one a bit because it doesn't really make any sense to me why two strikers in a similar age group can be treated so differently when they're going through poor form. I don't think it's consistent. Me personally, I've been speaking to a lot of Arsenal fans this week, whether that be my mate Joel, whether it be Turkish Lee. They're all saying that they're actually afraid of Werner this weekend and they think that Werner could turn up against them. Now, maybe anyone can turn up against Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? Arsenal are just in that poor form where anyone can turn up. But I personally wouldn't start him. I'd start Pulisic on the left and Hudson-Odoi if he's fit on the right. And then Drew or Tammy up front. It's really up to what you feel. We have a game against Aston Villa, and I feel like Tammy maybe against Villa, Drew against Arsenal, just for sentimental reasons, might bang. Let me go through the chat here. It's a little bit of a vlog thing when I have to go over here. Get in your questions, and I will answer any question. This doesn't have to be about football. You're not. It's very rare you're gonna catch me off guard right now, on Christmas Day where you can ask me anything. Have you seen Chilwell is in training with the squad tonight? I haven't seen that personally. I haven't even been online too much. I came online when I hit 50k on Twitter and I was really happy about that. You guys really did push me over the line there. But when it comes to Chilwell at training, I haven't seen any updates. But even if he is training, I would be cautious don't really expect him to play against Arsenal from the start because remember, we have Villa on the 28th, a day's break. So whoever starts against Arsenal really can't play against Villa, in my opinion. I just think that's too wild. So you're gonna have to rotate. So maybe Chilwell is in contention for the Villa game. I wouldn't expect him to start against Arsenal. Emerson's been doing a decent job, so just probably expect him to start. Really caution for Chilwell, if anything. That's what I would go with. Let's see what you man are saying. I'm only doing this because the shape up isn't messy this time, so I'm able to do this side shot. But I don't know, man. You man tell me, what do you rate the shape up out of 10? Because I don't know. I've been going to a few different barbers and I'm not sure who I can trust. Favorite clothing brand to wear. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not really too onto clothes at the moment, mainly because in terms of finances, that's just not where my head's at. Like my finances in the last year have all been gearing up for saving up for this channel. So getting a new computer so I can upload as quickly as possible. Because, if you bring some dead lap to the set, you're not going to be able to get the thing out on time. I've really been obviously investing in the cameras. Well, not the cameras, but the studio lights, all that kind of stuff that you see on set. And I'll show you my set one time, maybe on Instagram. I'll take a picture when I get back to the spot. But we've spent a lot of money on the set. So really, first half of the year, I was working with Virgin Active, and I was really, and obviously we've had the disease. Let's not shut that down, YouTube. Calm it down. Don't shut us down. So I've really just been saving up to launch the YouTube channel, because I've been trying to launch the YouTube channel for a while. And if you follow me on Twitter, then people have been hyping me up from day one to start the YouTube. So I've just been saving to get it done. I said to them, really, it's not really about me. It's about time and just making sure I'm in the right spot. Obviously, I'm with my mate, my best mate, Saj, now, so he can help me with the edits, because I'm not really an editor like that. So yeah. When it comes to clothing, I wouldn't say I'm really on it. I used to be on clothing a lot more. That's where that Tommy Hilfiger jacket came from the Roundabout series. Whenever you see me wearing that green jacket, that's when I was going through my clothing stage, and I was just buying bare clothes. I was going to Boohoo Man. They got some decent deals. Tommy Hilfiger. Right now, if I had to say what my taste is in clothes, I don't really go with the JD Nike tracksuits. I don't like anything plain right now. Like, even the Christmas jumpers banging. Do you know what I mean? There's actually meant to be lights on this, but unfortunately we couldn't get the lights on because the battery ran out while I was away. But yeah, man, I'm not really too big into style right now. It's probably not. Maybe when I get some more money, I might care more. But right now, I'm not really on it. I'm just on trying to improve the channel, to be honest. Matisse told his boss to fuck off and get that straight. Yeah, listen. Let me not trash talk my old place, yeah. But do you know what? Yeah, do you know what it is? I keep telling people this, yeah. I think you're always, I wouldn't say destined, but you got purpose. Do you know what I mean? Everybody's got their own purpose, and I think when you try and do things that your head's not really in it. Like for me, this 9-to-5 business, I can only make it run for a couple months before I get bored. That's just the truth. Do you know what I mean? I was always meant to be content creating, presenting, radio, whatever you want. That's what I was meant to be doing. So I can do it for a couple months because there's new people, new surroundings, new vibe. And then when it gets dead and boring, especially when you get interrupted with a whole lockdown, and then I have time to focus on this stuff, and then I have to come back to work, I had to just dead it. And I'm not gonna lie, they kind of caught on to me. They were like, yo, your headspace is not here, bro. I was like, yeah, chief, you're not wrong. So it had to be done. Do you know what I mean? It had to be done. What's my favorite Chelsea goal? I'm sorry if I'm missing your questions, because obviously I'm explaining and then I'm going back to the chat. So I'm just going down to what's near. So this is the one time where I'll say to the mods, don't time anyone out who's spamming, because they're probably just resubmitting their questions so I can see it. But try not to do it. Try to be calm with it. Favorite Chelsea goal? Oh, that's a tough one, you know. I have to say Essien's, you know, against Barcelona. I know we drew 1-1, but I'm just going off the top of my head. It's probably not the top one, because I'll change my mind so frequently. But that goal, yeah, Essien scored against Barcelona. You know, that left foot volley. Oh, it was sexual. I'm telling you, it was sexual. That shot, yeah, just off the crossbar and just up. Filth. You know the goal I'm talking about. And it actually, you know what's so frustrating about that game? Because obviously Iniesta scored the last goal, but it was Essien who gave the ball away. Because if you ever remember, right, on the edge of the box, we was trying to clear it because it was like 90th minute, hanging on for dear life, and Essien scuffed his clearance, and then it went to a midfielder or one of their players who squared it to Iniesta, who fronted in the top corner. So it was a little bit of a merry-go-round thing. So it wasn't great on that respective there. Let's see what questions you got. What type of manager do you see Lampard turning into so far? I think one thing with Lampard, yeah, is that I've always said this, and I'm trying to get used to it as time goes on. Because personally, if I'm being honest with you, when we was first linked with Lampard, I didn't want him, because I said to myself, I want him to come when he's ready, and I didn't feel like he was like at the top or at the peak of his managerial career. Do you know what I mean? I wanted him to have all the experience at Derby, go up another level, kind of like how you have youngsters out on loan at Cobham, and they go on loan and they get better and better, and then you bring them to the first team. I wanted Lampard to get more time, more experience, so when he gets here, he's ready to win a Prem. Obviously, they brought him in, and right now, I don't see him as like this real tactical system-based coach, which is what we've been used to. Which is what I think that's why there's so much divide in the Chelsea community right now. Well, not right now, but just in general, because we're used to having system managers. We're used to having Conte, Sarri, Mourinho. These guys are like, they're fully tactically drilled in whether it's attacking or defensive football. And because we've always been able to identify what our team is doing on the pitch at all times, we're not used to a coach who is probably less experienced, or maybe will switch and rotate formations game to game. And it's a bit frustrating for fans because they have to try and predict what we're doing from game to game. Now we seem to have settled on a formation, which is great. But obviously, last season it was a bit of a sticky one still. So shout out Heady One for that, but it was a madness. If you could sign 3 realistic players for Chelsea next summer, who would it be? Realistic, mad. You're asking me a question there. That I'm gonna go Erling Haaland. I think he's realistic, to be honest, because he does have a release clause. I don't know if it's due in 2021 or 2022. The only issue is the agent, Raiola, but I would definitely get him. You don't turn up a striker like that. Defenders. This is tough, I didn't really deep this one too much. Definitely Haaland. I'll come back to this question because I don't want to give you a dead answer. So let me really think about it and I'll come back to you because I want to really deep it. Let me see. Would you have... Oh, wait. The chat's actually going mad. Man can't even keep up. Would you have liked to see us move to Battersea Power? Nope. We're not moving to no Battersea Power Station. I know it's frustrating, that we haven't been able to get the move that we wanted quickly to the new stadium. Maybe some of you are cool with that, actually, because I know the thing is with our stadium, there's a lot of history behind it. We've always been in the same spot. Same can't be said for Arsenal, you know what I mean? A little bit of Woolwich up north and whatnot. Sticky one. So, yeah, look, we have actually been able to maintain our spot, and that's how I want it to stay. Do you know what I mean? I don't want us to be moving location. It won't feel the same. If you look at the bridge, and if you've been to the bridge, and if you haven't, if you're overseas, man, when you get there, you're going to love it. But when you get to the bridge, I know it's not as big as the other grounds, but you feel something. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to go to this hollow, modern stadium where you don't feel no connection. Yeah, they might have some nice little booster seats and sippy cup holders and whatnot near the chairs, but I want it to feel something. Do you know what I mean? And I think staying in the same spot is very important. That's why the club are trying to stay in the same spot. And it's not easy because we have the train line and the flats and whatnot around it, but it is where it is. It takes time. And obviously this disease season don't help. So it is where it is, man. But I don't want to move to Battersea Power Station. So I was happy with that. Bayern Munich are the best team in the world. Man, don't depress me, huh? How do you rate Emerson and Aspie versus Arsenal? I'm not worried about Aspie, because defensively, I think he's shown he's very solid over the years and he's been very consistent. For me, he's probably our most consistent fullback last season. He got a lot of assists. It's not the typical Reece James extravaganza cross that we're used to, but he still had a good few cutbacks from the left-back position and whatnot. He's been a good... I don't think our fans, sometimes we forget just how important Aspie is. We really have the dream scenario. We have 2 young fullbacks, promising fullbacks with a lot of potential in Chilwell and Reece, and we have a deputy fullback in Azpilicueta who is consistent, defensively solid, can play both fullback positions, been at the club for a long time, so he understands what's going on, he understands the league, and he's okay to be deputy. Obviously, he's pushing the fullbacks, to their maximum. That's probably why we're getting such great performances out of our fullbacks. But he is okay to do. He's very much like Giroud. He's okay to do the deputy role. He'll teach Reece a thing or two as well. So we really have to appreciate that, man. When he's gone, we're gonna miss him dearly. I don't think Lampard can win us the Prem. I don't think Cho or Tammy are good enough. Am I a bad person? Love your content. No, man, you're not a bad person, man. It's all opinions. The only time, I get annoyed with people is when they take it too far. So if they start DMing Mason Mount's dad, or they start, atting players and being racist, that's when you've taken it too far. But apart from that, any opinion goes around here. So speak your mind. Lampard winning the Prem. Do you know that's not something mad to say, and it's not even a disgrace on Lampard if you don't think he can win the Prem, because you have to respect the other managers in this league. You got Klopp, I know Ancelotti's not at a Premier League winning team, but you've got top coaches. Pep. It's not going to be easy to win the Prem, as you can see this season. So if he doesn't win the Prem here, it's not going to be like... Obviously, it's disappointing because, like I said, I wanted him to win the Prem here as well, and I want him to. But it's not something that's mad outlandish if he doesn't, for me, because I'm not... take his managerial profile isolated, I'm not expecting him to get to that height. Do you know what I mean? That's just something I hope for. So he has to improve as a manager year on year for that to happen. So it's not a mad opinion. And Tammy and Cho, I think they're 2 different types of players. Abraham, I've always said, I don't know if he's going to be our starting striker for the next decade, because that's mad. Even Drogba, if you remember, guys, Drogba was challenged by Torres, Shevchenko, and Nelka. So Drogba never really even had his place secured the whole time. He had to keep working for it. And so that's the same with Tammy. So it's never going to be guaranteed that he is a starter, but I think he's good enough to be in the squad. And then Hudson-Odoi, man, there's just bare politics on that. Do you know what I mean? We just have to. He's got the talent to do it, but boy, you know what I mean? He's got to start playing games, and he's got to get the game time. So that's always a sticky one. I just know if Hudson-Odoi went to Bayern Munich when he put the transfer request in, he would have blown up, bro. It would have been a madness. Do you think we have a decent chance of finishing outside the top 4? Hold on a second. Decent chance. You guys are bare nice with your questions, you know. I said you can ask me anything, and you guys are asking me only about football. You man are well behaved. I thought I was going to be getting some dodgy questions. Yo, you man are hilarious. Let me see. I'm going through. Oh, there we go. Let's get this one up. Ask me some variety of questions, because really this is an opportunity for us to get to know each other, because it's Christmas Day, innit? I'm not really going to be doing this too often because there's just so many fixtures. I might be migrating to England next year in London. What jobs do you think a Jamaican immigrant can secure to make a living? Man, do you know what, yeah? It's a rough one. And it's hard to predict because it depends what time of the year you're coming over, because obviously right now London's in tier 4, so ain't nobody getting a job, to be honest, right now. It really depends on your skill set, bro. You know what I mean? Talk to me. What did you do study-wise, or what's your skill set? What's your previous jobs? That's really what it is. It's all about the CV. But what I have to say is London is if you dress to impress, then you're halfway there for me. Like, I don't really, and it's really important as well to try and, I know it's easier said than done, but if you're not nervous in job interviews, that helps. Do you know what I mean? I don't get nervous. I don't really get nervous with a lot of things, like job interviews, all them things that people stress about. I don't stress about those things. I really stress about other stuff. And I don't know why. Do you know what I mean? I don't stress about these things. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's just, this is just one problem I don't have. I got a lot of issues, but I don't have that. Let's see. What are you man saying? Prime Joe Cole and Hudson-Odoi. Who do you think would be the bigger legend on the Chelsea? Do you know what, yeah? Ooh. Right now it's Joe Cole. And the reason why is the mentality is on point with Joe Cole. Like, Joe Cole didn't rest. Do you know what I mean? He didn't rest. And right now, Hudson-Odoi still got to be that consistent guy for Chelsea mentality-wise. You know, he's had a few slip-ups since he's got here. He's had a few dramatic moments, whereas Joe Cole was really, you don't really get that. Do you know what I mean? So there's still time, but it's a difficult one to compare, man, because it's all about game time. It's all about who gets the opportunity to play games, really. It's legendary status is not just about ability. It's more about game time, taking the opportunity, consistency, longevity, trophies. It's about a lot more than ability. So it's not really something that you can really answer until Hudson-Odoi's career is done. What are the best affordable verses? Mad. See, I have asked the question you don't want to answer to. If I'm being honest, yeah, I fled the UK to go to uni, because all the UKs that I know are £9,000 a year. So if you've got £9,000 a year to spend on uni, especially when there's no physical interaction right now, you're just doing it online, then go for it, innit? But I left. I went to Ireland for 5 years, did my equivalent to A-levels over there. Then I did uni over there because it was cheaper. It was like £3,000 a year. And I dropped out because I was like, bun this. So it's really up, you know, I wouldn't say it's affordable. For me, I was never paying £9,000 a year because that's long. But if you could afford that, then I guess that's affordable to you. It really depends, isn't it? What high school did I go to? Good question. If you're from London, then you'll know I went. So if you might know the school. So basically Southeast London, Lewisham Borough, Forest Hill Boys, basically Sydenham. So if you know that area, if you're from London and you know South, then Forest Hill Boys. So basically a boys' school of what, 2,000 people, something like that, crowded out. Big up the chat, 200 people in here live. This actually might go on longer than I anticipated. Yeah, Forest Hill Boys, Sydenham, 2,000 boys, all packed up into one school, no females whatsoever. It was a madness. Fights, selling cookies, selling Lucozade. It was mad. You know what I mean? There was like 3 different parts of the playground. One was for the footballers. Then the middle was just like a middle ground. And then the other side was just all the smokers. And so it was a madness. I can't lie. It was fun. If you guys have ever gone to a same-sex school, and you'll know it's just wild, to be honest. Now we're getting to some mad questions. See what I'm talking about? Take advantage of the moment, fam, because you're never going to catch me slacking like this ever again. Who was your first crush? Well, there's no point me telling you the name because you're not going to know who she is. And what age were you? First age. Let me think. Let me really deep it. Must have been some dumb primary school thing. It must have been like maybe like 11 years old or something. But you don't really know what you're doing back then. Do you know what I mean? What is a crush at that age? You don't even know what's going on. You don't really know what's going on like that. So yeah, I guess 11 years old. There's no point me baiting out names because you ain't gonna know who it is anyway. This brother asked me no, bro, no. There you go. There's your answer to that one. Yeah, them 50p cookies in Sainsbury's. Yeah, literally. Yeah, me and my mate Saj, so the cameraman you see now. We used to go to Sainsbury's, yeah, and we used to pick up cookies, Lucozade, sometimes Kool-Aid. I think at some point we made Kool-Aid. If you guys remember what Kool-Aid is, I don't know if they still shop that in school. But Lucozade cookies, go to Sainsbury's, buy up a whole of that. Obviously, the manager's looking bare suspicious. They're like, "Why are you buying Lucozade and cookies? What's going on here?" Like in bulk. We used to go get that, bring it back to the warehouse, which is the home, and then come in the next morning, rucksacks on. And just start shotting it. So we were in like year 10, year 11 when we started this, and just start shotting it to the year 7s. So like kids that are like 3-4 years younger than us, shotting it 50p. Sometimes we do a deal, £2 for a pack, shot. And that's how I paid for my first Xbox, to be honest. Because I was like, I clocked. A couple Christmases went by and I was like, I'm not going to get an Xbox, am I? So I had to start grinding. I was like, okay, we're just going to start. I'm going to start selling. What's my affiliation with Ireland? Score prediction, I've seen that as well. Score prediction for the game, I'm going to say 2-0 to Chelsea. Comfortable win, I'm hoping, but I'm not going for anything fancy because I don't think it's going to be a beatdown. I do think Arsenal will step up their game a bit. My affiliation with Ireland is that I moved over there when I was 16, so just left secondary school. Moved over there to do, like I said, equivalent of A-levels, lived there for 5 years. And yeah, it was a Mazzolini. It was great. Do you know what I mean? Made a lot of friends here. Over here right now, that's where I fled to. Not the south of France. That was just to put Boris Johnson off track, just in case he was watching us. So yeah, that's my affiliation. And I love this country, to be honest. You man are mad friendly. You're a very friendly country. It's very weird for a Londoner because in London, and anybody from London in the chat will know, when you're in London, you don't talk to strangers. Like if you're walking past someone, you don't say hello. You just keep it moving because it's not safe. But in Ireland, everyone's saying hello, so that was a bit weird for me to get used to. And I was still in school when I moved over here, so I was actually the first. I think I was the first black kid. So I'm setting records. I think I was the first black kid in that school ever. So imagine me, the only black kid in this school. It was mad. Do you know what I mean? It was mad. So yeah, it was wild. Do I think Havertz should start? See, we'll balance it out between the football and the normal questions, just so people understand what the hell's going on. Would I start Havertz? Personally, no. I think Werner, Havertz, I personally would have them coming off the bench. German impact, as they say. I just don't think they're both in the best run of form right now, and I just think they need to be eased in. Remember last season, Pulisic was eased in, and I think Pulisic was probably playing better than Kai is now, and he was eased in over the games, and he got better and better as the season came on, and then, you know what I mean, he blew up the second half of the season. I'd bring Kai off the bench as an impact player. I think Kova deserves a start. Kova, Mount, and Kante is what I'd go with. I think Kova definitely deserves a start. He's been really good. And yeah, I think sometimes just leave a bit of power on the bench. If Hudson-Odoi's fit, I would start him, and I would start Pulisic, and I'd start Abraham or Giroud, whoever. Go with the pace, because I know Arsenal's fullbacks are looking ropey, especially Bellerin, so I want Pulisic on the left wing. But man, you know, this is just little things, because our squad is so good that who really minds who starts at this point, to be honest. You know, it's not like last season when we was deciding between Pedro, and Willian and whatnot. Do you know what I mean? We've actually got ballers, so I'm not really too pressed about starting lineups anymore. I don't get too angry. Everyone in Chelsea is showing off their girlfriends. When are we seeing yours? What do you mean in our? Oh, do you mean Chelsea is in FT, or are you talking about the players? Because if the players, then that ain't none of my business. But yeah, man, we keep that low key around here. Do you know what I mean? And really, I found out, if really, and I keep giving you a bit of advice. If you're mad serious about your relationship, you actually do keep it low key, because you don't want man them getting involved and all this stuff. So that's just how you run things if you're serious, in my opinion. Kante versus Makalele. Ooh, you're taking the piss, brother. What kind of question is that? You trying to draw me out? Different players, man. I know Kante's playing in that role now, but ooh, I don't have to answer in a bit. Why am I being held to ransom on my own channel? What is this? No, I'm not Muslim. I'm not Muslim, bro. That's my brother Mod. Me and Mod are not actually twins, by the way. You know CFC Mod on Twitter. I keep saying he's my twin, but we're not actually twins. We're not from the same country, not the same religion. We just banter. But yeah, I love Mod. But yeah, it's good. Omelets or fried eggs. See, now you man are just mad. Now you just mad. I'm not omelets. Both, man. Like, how can you choose? They're just both great things. You can't choose that. Have you stopped Twitter? No, I haven't stopped Twitter. The last couple of days, and I do this very sparingly, but I do like to do this. I take breaks, not massive breaks, but a couple of days where I will just not be on the platform so heavily, because I think sometimes, yeah, with Twitter, you get lost and you think this is the only thing that's going on, where really Chelsea fan base actually stretches all across social media. And Twitter, it's intense, you know what I mean? Like, you can't be half asleep on Twitter. You can get caught slacking, do you know what I mean? Like, for me personally, with the size account I have now, big up you lot as well, getting me to 50k today. That really meant a lot to me, honestly. That was sick, especially to do it today. That was nuts. I wasn't actually planning on it being today, because I wasn't tweeting really that much, but you guys managed to get me there, so much love for that. Because a lot of man was shouting me out, and I was having dinner, and I come back and I see that I was on 50k. I was like, what? Are you man nuts? But yeah, man, like, Twitter's very intense, and with my account now, if you're a smaller account, and I remember, so I'm not even talking crap here, because I remember when I was a small account, it was only like 18 months ago. Like, you control and you can banter a bit more, but when you're a bigger account, people take your opinion a lot more seriously, so you can't really troll. So you have to be on the ball, is what I'm saying. So it gets a bit intense when that many people are watching you. So sometimes it's just good to take a break, and I advise it, man, because it's long otherwise. If you don't take a break, you can go nuts. What other questions have we got, people? Obviously with Arsenal as well, just to talk a bit more about the game. I'm confident. I'm very confident, but at the same time, I don't want to be overconfident, because Chelsea are not in a great run of form. Obviously, we have 2 defeats in our last 3 games. I know we won the last game. It wasn't as convincing as the scoreline suggests, 3-0. But for me, at 1-0, we were looking ropey. And I was, you know, for a lot of that 1-0 lead, I was like, oh, I don't know if we're going to concede or what's going to happen here. I was actually going to only go for half an hour, but screw it. I love you guys. We're going to go for an hour. I wasn't sure if we were going to concede, because they were dashing balls into the box, and, you know, we were having some last-ditch defending. And, you know, Chelsea, when they're in a dodgy patch of form, mentality, you know, things can get a bit wary. So I was worried, but obviously we managed to secure the second goal. And then after that, we was playing great football. So I'm not overconfident, and I don't want to be overconfident, but I do expect us to win. I remember last season when we went to the Emirates and Jorginho came on and changed the game, and Tammy obviously scored a late winner. Jorginho scored as well himself, Leno mistake. So really, in theory, Arsenal are in such bad form that we should be picking this up. Like, to be honest, if we don't win this game, it's a little bit embarrassing for us. But that also means Arsenal are due a wake-up call. So, do you know what I mean? We saw them against Man City in midweek. It wasn't great. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm trying not to be too overconfident with this, but at the same time, I do expect us to win. So Martinelli and Aubameyang's out for tomorrow. I didn't know Martinelli was out. So that's mad, because that's probably their 2 best forwards. I know Aubameyang's not in form. See, this is what I'm saying. These things just make it, they just apply more pressure to us, because really, with no Aubameyang, I know he hasn't been good this season, but let's be honest, that's their only world-class forward. We got to be doing the business. And what I'm worried about is David Luiz and Willian having a little turn-up session, and they're like, yeah, let's go and get... You know when David Luiz scored that goal against us for PSG? That's what I'm afraid of, that type of moment. And Willian deciding he's going to have a masterclass after he's been dead all season. That's what I'm worried about. So I'm trying to be calm, because if I'm not and we get shook, then it's going to be a long day. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, I do the byline as well afterwards with Alex. So if we lose, I can't just leave. I have to actually talk about it, which is long. Like, I love talking about the game, But when we lose, it's a different type of thing for me now, because when we used to lose games, I used to just be able to turn my phone off and bounce. But now I have to speak about it on the pod. Then after that, I got a few live streams that I'm on regular basis with Rants, Turkish, and a few other ones where I have to speak. Well, obviously, we're going to speak about what happened. It's a different ball game, man. When you got to speak about it at length after it's happened, and you can't just forget about it, it is long. So the defeats hit me hit me differently. Worst rival FT account. Let me think. Do you know what it is, yeah? I don't know, because I've muted a lot of the ones I don't like, if I'm being honest. Like, if I don't like an account, I just mute it, because I don't want to keep seeing it. I used to think it was Trey, and now me and Trey get along really well. And we always got along, but I used to always be like, oh, Trey, man, not again with these tweets. Like, now I've clocked he's on the baiting thing. But now I just love Trey, because me and Trey follow each other now. I actually do like Trey, and every now and then Trey will actually come with some sick opinions, and he's actually usually spot on. So now I just think he's trolling. So now I just see Trey, and I just think he's trolling. So I don't really mind, because you might remember when I made a video, and I just think he's trolling. Me or Alex? You a G, because Alex has never been. I've never seen Alex live. I've never seen Alex in the chat. So I have to give it to you. What's this one here? Do you drive? First car suggestions. I don't drive, because what happened was I'm not gonna lie to you. I've had my provisional for the longest. I got it I was probably the first person in my friend group to get my provisional, and then I did the test, failed the first time, and I was meant to rebook it, and I was like, I'm not really feeling it. Let me leave it. Then the disease hits. Bang! Now you can't book a test for nothing. And obviously, because I live in London, transport system is nuts. So, but even when I do get it, I do want to get it soon, but I still won't get the car because the insurance is nuts, and I don't want to. It might sound mad old of me to say, but I don't want to get a car. Like, I'm not striving to get a car, if you get what I mean, because it's not an asset, it's a liability. Like, as soon as you get a car, the value just depreciates. So unless you need a car, I know it's nice to have, but unless you need it, it's not the first thing I'm thinking of, because I know once I get the car and I drive out the garage, it's a wrap. Do you know what I mean? And then, so I'd rather put my money into things that can either make money, and do you know what I mean? It's just about being smart with it, because I young people in general, they just buy fancy cars, innit? And then next thing you know, they're broke, and I'm not trying to be that guy. So I've kind of got my head screwed on in that sense. I'm not like, I haven't got that buzz of driving, like, oh, I can't wait to drive, because I have driven for like a good couple years while I was trying to get the license, and now I'm gonna get the license, but I'm not buzzing to drive, if it makes sense. Like, I'm not mad excited to drive. I'm over it. What have you got here? Do Trey only answer. Stop it. I love Trey though. You gotta love Trey because he's consistent. The work rate this man puts in, and like, if we're being honest, Trey's engagement is probably the best on Twitter. After Pogba Senior, I don't think it gets any better than Trey's engagement. Like, doesn't matter what this brother tweets, people are on to him, and that's what you want. If that's the route you're going down, do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna be one of these dons that I'm mad salty, because it's just like, you got to respect the hustle, man. Like, he's made his lane. He created a whole format, by the way, that everybody copies now, which is the brackets with the number, who scored more. Like, he's whether you like the format or not. I don't use the format because I think it's long. But he's created a whole format. You know what I mean? You got to pay your respects for him. Like, this guy has created his own lane. So thank you for subscribing, my guy. Big up yourself from Trinidad. Merry Christmas, people, man. Honestly, because I'm not gonna lie, for me, Christmas was getting a bit. I'm just not really into it. Do you know what I mean? Until I'm into the giving, and I'm into the giving presents now. I used to be into the receiving, but when you get older, you get into the giving. And I had to flee the country before my sister and brother's presents arrived. So my siblings' presents are in London, and I couldn't give it to them. And I was pissed. Like, I've never felt so pissed. Like, I was sitting there for time, just like, I've been doing this for days, yeah, just mad pissed, because I knew what I got them was sick, and I knew it's what they wanted. I couldn't give it to them because I had to leave the country earlier than I planned before the thing arrived. And I just deeped it. I was like, yo, when did I get like this? Because you know when you're younger, let's not lie. We're just into taking. And if you get a Lynx Africa, it's a wrap for everybody. It's a wrap for everybody if you receive a Lynx Africa. Or Lynx anything. And if you receive a PS5, it's a madness. Do you know what I mean? But when you get older, I don't know, man, it's weird. You just don't really care. You don't care. You just want, like, if you've got a sick present to give, you want to give it. But obviously I didn't get to give it, so. But it was either give it or not be here. So, you know what I mean? I couldn't take the risk. Morris is on a madness. Chelsea champions. I actually said, I've been gassing it up in private to my mate that I think we can win the league and all this stuff. But on the channel, I remember when I did a video, can we win the Premier League? And I did say, I think we'll just fall short. But I think we'll challenge. And that was just me being realistic. Because I remember the hype at that moment. This, you know, if you guys remember, yeah, the little horse. We're gonna do 20 more minutes, people. I've actually really enjoyed this. I'll probably do this again because it seems to be going well. I don't know. You tell me. Smash the like button if it's doing well. I don't usually do this. You know, we usually have the studio and whatnot. But I just thought, let me do it because you man got me to 50k, and I was like, let me come chat to you, man. What was I going to say? I was going to say something, but now I've completely forgot. Oh, yeah. You remember Jose Mourinho when we didn't win the league, right? Demba Ba, Torres, and Eto'o up front. And he called us the little horse. He was like, oh, the little horse, it needs milk and time to grow. That's what it feels like this season. I'm not going to lie. Because I know we have the team to win it, but they don't have the experience to win it. This is my only thing. Kai, Timo, these guys are in their first season in the league. When they're in their peak, like even in their second season, when they're like at their levels, even the way Mount is playing this season in his second season in the Premier League, when Kai and Timo get to the level where they got the experience of the Prem, 100% I expect us to be going for the league, 100% win there, trying to win it. But right now we feel like the little horse where we've got the players, we've got the ability to do it, but they don't have the experience. So I remember that Jose Mourinho quote. It was like the little horse, it needs feeding, it needs looking after, milking. Spam the chat with horse emojis if you remember what I'm saying. So it doesn't look like I'm going crazy. But yeah, if you remember, then you know what I'm talking about. Where do you think Chelsea will finish in the Champions League? I'm just hoping for quarter-final. Who have we got? Atletico. Shit. I'm not going to lie, you know, if this team doesn't get its act together, it's not getting past Atletico. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to be that guy that lies to you. If there's one team I wanted to avoid, it was Atletico Madrid. So if we don't get our act together by February, then we might. I'm not saying we're going to hold smoke because I don't think Atletico are a team to hand out smoke, but it's going to be tricky. Like it's a very 50-50 tie if we're being deadly honest. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I was hoping for a quarter-final. Anything more than that, because for me, I've always felt this, yeah? Once you get to the semi-final, from quarter to semi is a big jump. Like, semi-finals is where you start deep in where you are. Like, let's be real, you're one game from the final. You're literally, you're borderline nearly there to win. So, the difference between quarter-final and semi-final for me is huge. So, I'm okay with quarter-final, because if you start getting to the semis, that's when you're talking about winning it. And we're not in it. Yeah, you guys are spamming the horse emoji, so you know what I'm talking about. Most improved player under Lampard. It's a good question, you know. I think Mateo Kovacic, if I'm being quite honest, I'm trying to think about it. Over the 2 years, I'm going to go Kova. Because I think Kovacic was obviously player of the season last year. Definitely by far the most consistent player. For me, it was undisputed that he got player of the year. I didn't think that was even a comp. And then this season, he's been really good as well. And the thing is with Kova, is that he's even been frozen out a few times and he still never drops off really in performance. He's very consistently putting in 7s and 8s. And if you remember him under Sarri, he didn't really look the same. He's very restricted and he was obviously in a very set system where you're playing under instruction and there's spaces you've got to be in at certain times to keep the ball progressing. Whereas this team is a little bit more, there's a bit more freedom. So yeah, I think him because for me, I don't think that's even really a comp. I think it's him. Maybe Tammy as well. It's a good shout. But I think Tammy's a good shout because his build-up plays really progressed a lot. And I think next thing for Tammy is the heading ability. I need that heading ability to get better, man. When he gets that, then we're going to be having different types of conversations. I have that's not a question. Well, I'll I have a weak spot for Sophie Rose, and you're a Man City fan. I'll let her know. Keep your questions coming in, people. Like I said, it doesn't have to be on football because, like I said, it's very rare I'm going to be on a freedom thing like this because there's usually just so much going on. Great question, man. That's a good question. If you don't mind asking me, how do you do YouTube full time? No job. See, this is what I'm talking about, yeah? YouTube, if you're being serious about it, it's really a full-time job in itself because you can try and juggle it with a job, but you want to also to grow the channel, you've got to be seeing all the games. So your job can't hinder you to the it depends what YouTube channel you're building. You didn't specify. I'm assuming it's a Chelsea one. So if I'm taking that assumption, and this is why I didn't start YouTube while I was still working, because I was doing like 48 hours a week. How the hell am I going to do a YouTube channel and do 40? You're not going to have the energy. Thing is about YouTube, for me, you got to bring energy. You got to bring a different flavor. So if you're going to do that, you need to have time on your hands, right? So I'm now fully doing content creating full time, which is what I've always wanted to do. Always, as long as I can live off it. Right now, I'm happy. That was my main aim because that's what I want to do. So at 23, to be able to do what you want to do, for me, that's calm. But you have to be able to grow the channel. You've got to obviously be unique, funny, whatever you want to put it, analytical, whatever you're going for. But you've also got to be on time. That's what people underestimate. There's no point putting out a review for a game the day after when everybody's got their review out an hour after the game. You got to be aiming to be first, second, third. Go through all the Chelsea channels. It's a healthy competition, but we have it amongst each other. Who can be first? Who can upload their review first? I don't speak about this with these guys in DMs, but I know in the back of their head they're like, oh, all right, cool. Let's get this review out first. Let's be the first Chelsea channel to upload. It's a healthy competition, but there's a lot of competition in this space, in the football space in general. So if you're going to come here and get anywhere, you've got to be on time. If there's breaking news, you've got to be on time. And I take the same principles that I used on Twitter to grow. Is you got to be if you're serious about growing your Twitter account, you got to be on time. Like if something happens, like say Pochettino gets sacked, and if you've got a meme or you've got a funny idea, there's no coincidence as to why accounts like Trey, Rizzy, Alex Goldberg, when he did his massive rise, on time, they don't miss. They don't miss what's going on. If you're going to be a news account, you got to report the news quickly. Like if you're late, you're not going to get anywhere because people have already covered it. It's a very competitive space. So for me, if you're serious about doing YouTube, then it really is a full-time thing. If it's a part-time thing, then and you're missing games or you know what I mean, you want to say you want to put out a video, but now you're at work. What are you gonna do? Do you know what I mean? So it's not really a part-time thing for me, in my opinion. You got to be available, is what I'm saying. Especially when you want to do collabs as well. Like I did a collab with Eunice. If I was at work, then your timetable to collab with people shrinks, and then suddenly now you can't do this, you can't do that because your schedules don't match. Your availability has got to be a little bit more flexible. So it depends what type of job you have. If your job's flexible with the hours, then cool. If you do night shifts, even better. But if it's not like that, if it's a 9 to 5, forget about it, bro. Forget about it. What other questions have we got coming in here? Because, like I said, what time is it now? Oh, we got time. We got 12 minutes. 12 minutes, people. I'm gonna keep it to an hour because obviously there's playback value in it for people that have missed the live. But I was only going to do half an hour, but to be honest, I didn't know there was going to be this many active people. It was Christmas Day, innit? So I didn't really know what was going to go on. You feisty boy, feisty. Have you ever been put in the friend zone? Of course. If you don't shoot, you don't score. And if you don't shoot, then brother, then what? Then you're never going to be put in the friend zone, of course, because if you're not shooting, then you're never going to miss, are you? But if you're not shooting, then for me, you only live once, innit? So if you're not shooting out of fear, then, hey, good luck to you, innit? Because I know that I only live once. I don't know about you, man, if you got 9 lives like a cat and whatnot, but I ain't got time for that stuff. Do you know what I mean? If you're going to shoot, just shoot, bro. It's like basketball, do you know what I mean? If you're not going to shoot, then don't shoot. Everybody, I don't think there's anybody who can honestly say they ain't being put in that zone, because if they haven't, then they must be some, I don't know. Why does Trey have so many accounts? You man are on to Trey in this chat. See, this is what I'm talking about, though. You have to respect it. Look how relevant the brother is right now in the chat. What else you got? One player you think would strengthen us the most?
I have to go Haaland. Again because this brother just don't miss. He does not miss. Like, if you think about all the chances we've missed this season, and if Haaland was up front, putting those chances away with his lethal ass, bro, it's a different conversation we're having. Because the defense is quite solid. I know it's conceded a few goals in the last few weeks, but the defense is quite solid if it's not put under like stupid amounts of pressure, but game after game. Right now, this season, for me, is still taking chances. And if you put Haaland up front, heading ability, penalty box, finishing, technique and efficient finishing, you know what I mean? If you put him up front, it's a different ball game. He's a bit of an old school throwback forward because this brother's just here to score. He's not here to do all of this extra stuff. And for me, that's what sets it apart. Top 3 accounts. I'd be lying if I don't say Pogba Senior. I think he is funny. Even though me and him, we actually have never clashed, which is funny because I make videos and I know he doesn't like accounts that make videos, or he'll take the piss out of accounts that make videos. But he's never come after me personally, so there must be some sort of mutual respect there. I've only had a back and forth with him one time, and it was really just memes about match of the day. So he's funny, innit? You have to respect it. The man's on 190k for a reason. He's a funny guy. Who else would I put up there? This is a tough one, you know, because it depends what you like. I do like a lot of the up and coming design accounts that are like, there's a lot of accounts that do artwork. Like, you might have not heard of Bruce. I have to shout out Bruce. He done my overlay at the bottom, my channel art, everything. And he's done my intro and all these things. And he's so good. He works with EA Sports FIFA. I always put the link to the description I always put the link to his Twitter page in the description if you ever need like artwork done, because he's so good. I like Dammy. Obviously, Dammy as well is up there because that's my brother who I collab with if we want to do a Madness on video. So he's right up there. It's hard really to narrow it down to 3. It really just depends on who's on form. Like I said, you've got top accounts, but then sometimes if they're taking a break, then they can't be the top 3 anymore because they're off guard, isn't it? So it really depends on who's on form. Right now, CFC Dubois is on form. Like, if you've seen him, he's not playing games at the moment. That brother's having smashing tweets left, right, and center. 100k on a tweet. That's never happened to me before. That brother's just shooting. Like I said earlier, shoot your shot. He's just shooting. You know what I mean? Him and Ralph right now are just shooting. So you have to pay homage, man. They're just taking shots right now. Let me see what else is going on. Can we go on a Champions League run? Yeah, I already went through it earlier, but for me, some of these questions are repeated, so maybe you guys missed what I said earlier. But if you have, go back. Obviously, you can watch it back again in it when I finish up, and then some of your questions have been answered. YouTube and Champions League run, I have answered it, so I'm not going to repeat it because that would be silly. How old are you? 23, boss man. And if you actually if you watch my videos, right, I do give away hints. So when I did the channel announcement video on Twitter, where I was like in the hallway of the new place that we was filming at, and like I was going through the dialogue with Saj back and forth, and I was walking into that room, YouTube, I did show my age on a little ID card for like a split second and my full name. So these questions can be answered if you're following man correctly, but like I said, I don't give it away just for cheap. You have to be studying. You can't just be out here. You know what I mean? If you miss it, you miss it. Let me see your top 4 predictions. Yeah, it'll be Liverpool, Tottenham, Man City, Chelsea for me. That's just what I think. Hopefully, I don't want Man United to finish in the top 4 because Man United fans on Twitter are really our biggest enemies. Let's be real. So I need that to calm down a bit. I wouldn't take Diego Costa back at Chelsea personally because that means that for me we're regressing. I don't like going back in time unless it's for a really big sentimental thing with Drogba or something. But Diego Costa for me is not needed. Do you know what I mean? We've got Giroud, got Tammy, and then you're either going Werner up top or you're putting Werner on the left or whatever you're doing, and you're getting Haaland or whatever. But for me, go for the best. Diego Costa's not needed. Do you know what I mean? Go for the best or don't go anywhere. I don't think Aspie will leave. No, Aspie won't leave. I think Aspie will retire here, to be honest. I think he's got that energy about him. Where do I live in London? That is a secret. I'm not going to tell you that because why would I? I'm not going to say because I like my privacy, and Well, if you figure it, do you know what? Yeah, if you figure it out in terms of where we record the roundabout every Monday, not anymore because at the moment we had to stop because of Boris Johnson effing up the country and whatnot in tier 4. But if you figure out where I'm recording the roundabout, then hey, that's on you. But apart from that, is this the same Daniel? No, it's not the same Daniel. I was thinking of that guy, on Man United Twitter. By the way, it's funny. Have you seen, guys, where a lot of other fan bases are making videos now? I find that very interesting, huh? It used to be just Chelsea fans who were making videos in a cringy way. Now I'm seeing Man United fans, the guy that shouts, but he's shouting quietly. That guy, I've seen a female as well, a Tottenham fan. She made a video. I'm just saying. Even Patrice Evra pulled out the camera and made a video about how passionate he was with his little mug. I'm just saying, Chelsea FT ahead of the curve. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to say too much. I'm not. Is that him? Don't play with me. Yo, don't. Is that actually him? There's no way. It's you. Yo. I'm gonna do this right now. If you want to hop on, Daniel, I'm going to send you the link. Oh my God, will I send you the link? Well, I send you. Do you want to jump on? I don't usually just have them just be popping in like this, but I feel like I need to have you here because I want to talk to you, brother. This shouting, going on, it's mad. I'm gonna send you the link, and if you want to jump in, you jump in. I'm telling you, this brother is hilarious. He just shouts. And thing is, I'm meant to be wrapping up now, but let's see. Let's see if I can find him first of all. This is nuts. I found him. All right. You can get the link. Oh, wait, no, wrong link. Don't click that one. That's not the right link. Invite guest. 1 second. Let me copy that. StreamYard. This is funny. I can't believe that's him. Okay. Let me get back to where I was. I can't believe it. Fuck it, Ollie. This brother, he's just nuts. He's just nuts. I've invited you. I've sent you the link on Twitter, DMs. Jump in. We'll do a little thing at the end. Because you're just jokes. I remember when Dammy impersonated him, because I don't know what's going on with this brother, whether he's like 10 p.m., it's getting close, like parents are sleeping. I don't know what's going on, but this brother just starts screaming down the place, but he's doing it where he's like something's in his throat. He's just like, oh, gosh, fucking bastard. But it's nuts. Oh, you're rude for that. Behave yourself. It's all my opinions based on Goldberg. If you follow me properly, you know that me and Goldberg have disagreed many times in the past, especially when Abraham was about to be offered 180k a week. Just before I invite Daniel in, 1 second, Daniel, I don't go out of my way to disagree with people. And I don't go out of my way to disagree with Goldberg just because he's like, it could be very easy for me that comment there, for me to be like, oh, everyone thinks I agree with Alex all the time. So I'm going to go out of my way to argue with him, in threads about topics that really I don't really care about. I'm not going to go out of my way to disagree with people. There's a few things we disagree on, but not loads of things. And that's really the case with most people. Like, unless you have mad opinions, like I said, we had disagreed when I wanted Thiago Silva as captain and he was like, nah. Or when I didn't think Tammy Abraham should be offered 180k, he was like, nah, he explained, he said it a different way. So there's things we disagree on, but I'm not going to go out of my way to disagree with him just because he's a big account. Nah, I can't be asked with that. Oi!
Yo,
what is going on here? Huh?
My God, what you saying?
Yo, bro, this is the first time I'm chatting to you, but I've only just seen you in my comments, and I remembered your name immediately. With your videos every time. Like I said as well, I've just been giving praise to people, who are on their thing in terms of being on time. Don't miss the videos.
I saw Trey in that,
Every Man United game, you're vexed. Why are you always so vexed?
Hey, I say it to people, I live and breathe football. during the week, everyone's always in my mentions telling me about Pogba, Martial, all these players I love. So then when they turn up on the weekend, instead of celebrating, I'm kind of the type of guy to just go, what you saying now? Shut your mouth. Have that. 1-0 to me. Shut your mouth. That's just how I am in it. It's just how I am in it. And I love it.
You're giving me flashbacks right now, even from that. Because literally, every time I see you, you're just like, wait, why do you have to be so quiet as well?
Real quick.
Why do you have to be so quiet? Is there something like, is it like because it's late? What's going on? Why do you always have to? Because it sounds like you're trying to shout, but you don't really want to shout, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm Nigerian. I'm African. I can't be too loud and things there. So, I prefer to be out. Do you get me? I'm not going to lie. They say it's a joke, but half of it's true. I'm not going to cap. It's banter. We live the game. I love it, man. I love it.
I rate it, because you know what? Yeah, do you know what I rate? The fact that you just keep coming back again and again. Because this is the same situation for me. I made videos a lot on Twitter. Obviously, I do it less frequently.
I see people hating for that. I'm like,
they love to hate.
He knows how it works, fam. Stop hating on the guy, fam. It's because he came up with it first.
But what people don't clock is when they're hating, you're just driving more traffic to me, bro. You know what I mean? And it's like, we ain't gonna stop.
That's what I'm saying. They all come back. They all come back saying, "Oh, why is he doing these?" But it's these same accounts with bare followers that are promoting my thing for me. So thank you very much. That's all I say to these man. That's all I say. They don't know what they're doing, but you're helping, man. Really. So it's all right, man. It's all right.
Oh, mad fam, mad. Who have you got this weekend? Can I ask? Because I haven't been keeping up with Man United actually this weekend because you guys are ahead of us.
We've got Leicester tomorrow,
12:30. Tasty.
Tricky.
All
I know.
So Mazzolini, and obviously quickly before I let you go, because I'm actually going to wrap up my stream soon anyway. But you every time you get quoted, it's always mute. What do you think about that when people always say that? Because they just be like, "Oh, just mute it." If you listen to it on mute, it's funnier.
Wait, say that again.
When people quote you, they keep saying, "Oh, if you listen to this on mute, it's funnier." What do you have to say back to them, man?
I don't care, like I said, at the end of the day, they never thought of it first. They're just hating on my thing. It's all right, because at the end of the day, all they're doing is just promoting my thing for me. So they're saying they're hating, but yeah, it is what it is, man. But yeah, you keep doing you, brother. I see you hit 50K today, so big up on that.
Thank you, bro. And listen, also, bless up, because your football ability, I've seen your skills and text, the kick-ups. I rate him.
Yeah,
I rate it. Yeah.
I tell them you're hating on me, but have you man got the skills as well, fam? Can you back up on the pitch, fam? I keep telling these man they're hiding, but it is what it is, man. But big up to you.
You heard it here first from Daniel. In a bit, my guy. Thanks for coming on. Mad to bump into you like that. So yeah, man. You know what? Yeah, I respect him because, like I said, even though it's not the same content I make, the fact that he keeps coming back again and again and again, regardless of the abuse, and he just makes the videos. It doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? And I respect people that have got that type of confidence where they're not hiding behind anything. They're going to keep doing their thing no matter what abuse they get. They'll do what they want to do. They don't let others come on this social media thing and dictate what they're going to do. They do what they want to do. They set the trend. Do you know what I mean? So whether you fuck with it or not, you have to respect it. You have to respect it because this brother doesn't care. I don't follow PSG like that, so I won't comment. Merry Christmas to my man Lewis, my guy. I seen you. Your work rate is nuts right now. I've been seeing the YouTube. I'm gonna answer a couple more, and then I'm going to finish. This brother's on to me. No, bro. No. See, this is what you need to understand. I always back Kova. What I said is that Kova's minutes will be reduced because of the 4-3-3, and they have been. Even though it's not even deservedly so all the time, his minutes will be reduced. That is what I said about Kova, that his minutes will come down, and they have come down. Not because of him as a player, just due to victim of circumstance, to the point where we've got eights like Kai and Mount, and Kova is not obviously a threat in the attacking position, so his minutes are going to be reduced. Like I said, I don't get anything out of agreeing with Alex all the time because that doesn't make for a very good podcast, by the way. So just so you understand, that's not really how it works. Let me see. Anything else going on? And by the way, if you want a real disagreement with me and Alex, we don't agree on Declan Rice. I have always said I wanted Ampadu and I wouldn't pay 60 million or whatever it is for Declan Rice. But like I said, if you're not listen, you're not here. You know what I mean? A levels, bro. Yeah, A levels. Madness. All right. Cool. Yeah, he's moving brazy, but you know what I mean? Everyone's open to moving mad. Everyone's open to it. It's not a problem. As long as you question with respect, then I ain't got a problem. If he's got things that he wants to air out, it's not a problem. All right, people, we've gone an hour and 5 minutes. We've even had a special guest. I'm gonna wind it down. But it's been an absolute pleasure. Like I have to say, thank you so much for 50K on Twitter. That's a mad milestone. I have to deep it. Obviously, it's been a mad year for everybody, which is why I also wanted to do this, because I know not everybody's having the best Christmas possible. I know a lot of you are probably even stranded and can't even do the normal Christmas that you wanted to do. But I have to say, it's been a mad year for me personally. It's been a wild one. Like I said, got a new job, left the job, worked with Chelsea, which was nuts. That's big. Obviously, doing the byline with Alex, which is sick as well. I don't know if you guys saw the Just Eat ad that I did with Joel. That was funny as hell. Obviously, starting YouTube. So it's been a mad year. There's a lot coming 2021. Might be a little radio thing, a regular radio appearance. Don't know if people really listen to the radio anymore, but it's something to put on this. This is something to have in it. We're reaching out to the older demographic. We gotta get the yerders, bring them in. You know what I mean? We've got to get the yerders to like me. I used to scrap with them during the Sarri days, but we'll bring them back. We'll bring them back around. But yeah, man, it's been a madness. 4-0 prediction from Lewis. Obviously, he hates. He hates. Do you know what? Yeah, let me quickly get. Do you know what? Let me just. Lewis, do you want to come in real quick? Because you're here, innit? You're active. So you may as well load up your phone real quick, just so we can chat Arsenal for 2 seconds. Let me see if I can find Lewis on Twitter and send him the link. Because Lewis, there is no better person really than Lewis when it comes to, if you're talking about Arsenal Chelsea, then there's not really any better, if we're being honest. Do you know what I mean? This brother's all in the rivalry. Lewis, if you're free, or if you're still in the chat, I sent you a link on Twitter. Literally just on your phone, if you want to jump in. So may as well, innit? Because Lewis is the guy. Special guests and whatnot. Do you know what I mean? That's what we do around here. Nothing planned. Eunice. I've collabed with Eunice two times now. So Eunice has been sick to collab with. He's been sick to collab with. 10-0 to the Arsenal. We've got a few Arsenal fans in there then. 100%. Because really, I could go for... Yeah, I sent you the link. Lewis, the link is on Twitter. I can go for 10 more minutes. Screw it. It's Lewis. You know what I mean? It's Lewis and it's Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? We'll go 10 more minutes because we'll do a little bit more stuff about the game. And then we'll roll with it. Do you know what I mean? It's a freestyling thing. So you can whip out the phone. Do you know what I mean? I'm doing a vlog, basically. Lewis is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. With two guests.
Yes,
my guy.
bro, what are you saying?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Merry Christmas, first of all. Actually, if you got the Santa hat once, I'll come join you as well.
Yeah, man. See, look at the hat.
Go get the hat sorted. Let's do this.
Man, literally, yeah. This is your fixture, innit? This is your fixture.
I'm looking forward to this, but the way fucking Chelsea Twitter's moving, it's like I'm the only fan looking forward to it. Everyone's shook.
Yeah.
Everyone's shook.
Bro, do you know what it is? Yeah, is that there's so much expectation on us, and it's a bit mad, don't you think? Like I don't think we've ever been this clear favourites. Like we've never had to be this confident since like Drogba, don't you think?
Exactly, and everyone's got the FA Cup final on their minds, but also had the fact that we had a referee that was on Arsenal's side half the game, and we had 3 injuries. Like you try to fight back those odds. Arsenal also played well and outclassed us in periods. It is what it is. This isn't the same Arsenal in terms of mentally and in terms of even the team and the way they set up. They're an absolute joke, top to bottom. Their home record stinks. They haven't beaten an English side since November the 1st, and the only reason why they won was because of a jammy Pogba mistake in the box.
Yeah.
Let's be real. I'm not. Here's the thing. It's embarrassing if we lose anyway. So why are we not
Hugely
going into this game with confidence? So why don't we just go into this game with confidence? Why is everyone shook?
Well,
we had one bad week and we lost 2 games, and now everyone's worried.
Yeah. Thing is, me and you have been speaking to Arsenal fans all week. So obviously, I know you've spoken to Babs, Then you did something with AFTV. Robbie Turkish was there as well for the super fan show. Have they been? I know Turkish and Robbie are not confident from what I remember. How is Babs? Is Babs confident?
Babs wouldn't give me a score prediction. I've only had one person say a win, and it was Robbie because he just wanted to be positive and back his team. And I respect that anyways. But they're not going into this game with any confidence. Why are we going in there so shook? Because that's the last thing we should be doing anyway. We should be walking all over these guys, especially with 2 games in 3 days. We're going to try and kill this game off early. Yeah,
100%. I've spoken to Turkish, Lee, and Deluded Guna as well. None of them are confident. In fact, they all think we're going to...
confident. They all have big injuries going into this game as well. Aubameyang might start, but he won't be fully fit. But it's going to be typical Arteta to probably start him anyway. Martinelli might start, and he's not fit. Is Gabriel injured or is he suspended? It's one or the other. And there's another player they're missing as well.
Yeah, their key players are all missing.
Fullbacks.
Yeah, their key players are all missing, and we've got a couple of injuries. Obviously, Chilwell, Reece, Ziyech, but we've got this is what I was talking about with Chelsea fans. If we're going to say we've got the best squad depth in the league, then these can't be excuses.
Especially, this is one of the worst teams in the league on form. Probably on form, the worst team in the league right now. We've had one bad week, and that is it.
Facts.
And people are thinking we're going to get... Someone said because we rarely turn up at the Emirates. We've won at the Emirates more times than any other Premier League away side has in history. So we can turn up. And 3 of those were without Didier Drogba as well. So no one can say it was Didier doing it as well. We can go there and get a result. And we've done that against better Arsenal sides.
We actually went there last year and got a win as well. So
exactly.
We won there last year. And that was with William getting the assist for Tammy. So we've got a better team than we had then. For me, it should really just be a comfortable win. I'm not. A lot of Arsenal fans think they're just going to get smashed. I'm not saying we're going to smash them because I don't really go into any game saying we're going to smash the team, but we should be winning that game 2-0 for me. 2-0 is my prediction. We should be just getting a comfort. Our defense is solid. Obviously Emerson's coming in. Aspie doesn't really shake things up too much, but Emerson's coming in. He should be able to handle it. Who's on their right-hand side, William or Pepe? That shouldn't be a problem.
It's probably if it's a fully fit 11, it's probably William, Pepe, and Lacazette.
Yeah. Are you worried about William, David Luiz, come back now?
What did David Luiz do against us in either game except kick N'Golo Kante in the head and get sent off? FA Cup finally had a good game, fair play, but we were also off as well, so I don't care too much. William has had 1 shot on target in his entire career at Arsenal in the Premier League. It would be peak William to turn up. I can't lie. It would be so jammy William to do it.
It would.
I don't see it happening, though, because I said he would turn up against Spurs because he hates them and he didn't even turn up then. So I don't expect it to happen in this game as well. The more you look at Arsenal, the more you notice that they are a mess from top to bottom. And it's like, well, why would we lose? The only way we would lose is if we do it ourselves, if we're not technical, if we waste chances. And that could happen. I can't lie, that could happen.
Yeah.
But I'm meant to believe in my team, especially against one of the worst Arsenal sides in the last 50 years. I'm not going into this game without confidence. I'm going to go into the game thinking we're going to smash these. I don't know why everyone's so shook.
Everyone's mad shook. What would be your... Let's go through our starting 11s because I actually haven't done mine personally. And obviously, this is a preview type thing. Let's go through your starting 11 first. And then I'll see if I'd make any changes. What would be your starting 11?
Only the obvious. We have to have Aspie and Emerson. And to be honest, if Lampard wanted, you might even see Reece James start because he's not out injured. He's out as a precaution, isn't he? They're just preferring to rest him. So that could mean they just use him a bit less, but that still doesn't mean he might not be used. So it could be Reece James. And if that maybe move Aspie to the left.
Another thing just to add is we've got Aston Villa on the 28th. So whatever team we pick here, mentally, I'm thinking already we're going to have to make at least 9 changes for the Aston Villa game because there's only 1 game in between. So that's also got to maybe come into our thinking. Obviously, would you just go... Because really, what's the matter?
I hear that.
Aston Villa are the better team in better form, but Arsenal maybe is technically the bigger game. So what would you play your strongest team against Arsenal and then rotate for Villa? What would you do there?
Actually, with that in mind, I would just stick to Aspie and Emerson. If Reece James could be back for Villa, I'd rather keep him for that one because
exactly. Grealish as well. So.
Thiago Silva. Would you think he would rest Thiago Silva? I don't think he'd do that.
You've got for me. I don't know. This is the thing because Villa is on. You have to assume that Thiago Silva is not going to play both games, so he can only play one. Which means if he's only playing one game, then Is it the Arsenal game? Because if they haven't got Aubameyang, if they've got a weaker forward line, do we need him against Arsenal? Do we save him for Villa?
Are we going for Zuma and Rudiger or Zuma Christensen?
This is the thing. This is why the game for me.
I'm
confident, but I'm not like going like mad clear. We're gonna smash.
No, I don't think we're going to smash them.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be like
games.
we try to get early goals and we try to kill the game off early and we play a bit more pragmatic and rest the game up from then. Yeah, I don't think we'll smash it. It'll be like 2-3-0 at the most.
We got 2 games and really we need to win both of them. But they're in the space of 3 days.
Yeah, well, that's just the Premier League just messing us up as they have done this entire season. But like we said, we have one of the best depths. We have one of the best depths in the whole league.
Yeah, this is when it's tested.
Exactly. The whole Christmas period was when we had to show it. We did slip up between the Wolves and the Everton game. Fine. I still don't think the Everton game was that much our fault. It's just circumstance. It's not that deep. But these 2 games definitely have to make it a 6-pointer. Both games. We have to. But lineup. I'd go Zuma Christensen if we're not going to play Thiago Silva.
Okay. So you'd save Silva for Villa, maybe?
Thinking that they're the better side, probably have to. We might have to underestimate Arsenal a little bit, but they are one of the worst teams in the league right now on form. So, I mean, we're justified in doing it. And left back, Emerson as well, because probably... Actually, I don't know what we're going to do for the Villa game, but
surely
we'll cross that road when we get to it. We'll think about the Arsenal game.
Yeah. Surely Alonso's not coming back into this team for Villa.
Nah, I think he's finished. He hasn't had a minute since that West Brom game.
Yeah, it's true. And then going into midfield, you're looking at the likes of, well, it's got to be, for me, Kante, Kovacic, and Mount I'd go with. I'd keep Kai on the bench, save Kai for Villa, really.
I'm kind of thinking the other way around because if we're thinking of it as one's good, the other one's a lot better in terms of Aston Villa, I'd rather have our best midfield, and our best midfield right now is Kante, Mount, and Kovacic. I think this could be a good game for Havertz to build his confidence.
Potentially, yeah. It's a good shout. I don't know my team really that well because this fixture's...
No, you threw me completely off with the Villa game. I can't lie. I had my whole life.
When you deep it.
Everything. It's like, raw, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's nuts. And then front 3... Obviously, Ziyech is out, so you're looking at what? Hudson-Odoi starting or Pulisic?
Is he back?
Hudson-Odoi, I haven't heard any updates. I assume he's back because I haven't heard anything otherwise. So I'd assume that he is back, yeah.
Okay, that might change it up.
Unless you guys in the chat have an update to let me know, like, because I'm not following the news too much recently.
Actually, to be honest, I don't think Hudson-Odoi would start this game anyway. I think it would be that... I think we play Olivier Giroud, also because I think Tammy Abraham in his mind would prefer to play the Aston Villa game as well. Little partnerships from his old time at Villa. He'd want to take that game. Yeah. So we have Olivier Giroud up front, Pulisic on the left, Timo Werner on the right. Because I think Werner is decent on the right. He gets in the right positions and he's on a stronger foot. So it's a bit more... he feels more comfortable on that side. Left-hand side, I don't ever want to see him play left wing again, in my opinion.
Yeah. A lot of Arsenal fans are saying that they... would bet on Werner to bag against Arsenal because we're like that's the game he's going to pick up form. If I was going to
go a stat pad sesh.
Yeah, if we're going with Giroud up front, I'd probably favour Hudson-Odoi because he's better at crossing, and we don't have Reece James in the team. And I think Werner plays better when Tammy's there. So then I'd save Werner for Aston Villa with Tammy. But
dude, rest Werner.
Yeah, because he's not in good form as well. But it's tough because Arsenal probably easy to score against them Villa. So
that's the thing, because I really want this game to be something to build this confidence with.
Yeah.
I understand, because you're thinking more tactically on this, and that might actually make more sense. Saving for the better opposition.
I'm just spitballing. There's too much going on.
Plenty of options, isn't it?
Yeah. Thank you, Angel, for the super chat. I'm not confident because we're missing Ziyech and James, and Arsenal will park the bus. We struggle to obviously, go up against low blocks. Yeah, I hear that. But at the end of the day, Arsenal need a win. They need points. So I don't know how deep they'll sit. They probably will sit deep, but that's just down to us to get the early goal and then they'll open up. So I'm not too worried about that.
We should be opening them up anyway. Like this team sits deep and can't sit deep.
Yeah,
like it should really be like a training session.
Yeah, it's true. We need you to go
pick up
Thank you. So yeah, I have spoken to the owner of Football Terrace actually one time. So we do speak up frequently. So I probably will go on there soon. Much appreciated. Have you been on there, Lewis? Football Terrace?
Yeah, I'm on the Chelsea. They have Anita has me on the Chelsea show a couple times.
Yeah, they have a show, isn't it?
You'd love it. You'd love it. It's
Is it
sick.
fun? Yeah.
Yeah, group's fun there. They got a really
Yeah.
nice bunch.
Yeah, I'll dip in there. I'll dip in there and see what it's like at one time. 100%. All right. Well, people, that's probably the end of the stream because my phone battery's on a sleepy thing. Lewis, thank you for joining me at the end, my guy. How was your Christmas? Was it all good?
Yeah, Christmas has just been calm. Me and my dad had an early Christmas dinner, and other than that, I've had a bit of filming, and other than that, been calling family members, and yes, it's been all right. It's been all right.
Yeah, it's mad, to see content creators are still uploading on Christmas Day. I thought everyone was just.
I can't lie, it's a smart time. Everyone's at home, so you know what? I'll feed the masses.
It's true. I've got a big 6 show with Turkish now, and Toby and them, man, and like Saeed. And I like when they initially
doing that Christmas Day as well.
Yeah, when everyone was like, when they initially said, "Oh, we're gonna do it on Friday," I was like, "Is that not Christmas?" And I was like, "You man don't rest."
Hey, the grind never stops, bro. You know it already. You're starting the channel too.
It's true. It's true. Like, to be honest, after like 3 p.m, it gets boring anyway. So things had to get done. Do you know what I mean? Well, people, thank you for joining me in the chat. Way more people active than I thought. Like I said, it's Christmas. I didn't think there was going to be that many people out here. So much appreciated.
Merry Christmas to everyone that isn't an Arsenal fan.
Me and Lewis are heading out. In a bit, people. See you later. Safe.